She said that she spanked Trump with a magazine that, in which he was like the person on the cover. That's not even weird or perverted.
Right.
That's like along the lines of a sexual fetish of sexy flight attendant outfit. Everyone likes the sexy flight attendant outfit. Stormy Daniels. You know what? Before we get to Stormy Daniels, this is just really in the last 48 hours. All of the cases against Donald Trump are falling apart. So you've got the classified documents case that's been suspended indefinitely for really potential evidence tampering. That's the primary reason. The January 6th case is not going to happen before the election. And actually, I guess this is just breaking this morning. We were trying to confirm it, that the court granted the appeal of Fannie's disqualification ruling.
So that's going to take a little while. So that's Georgia gone.
That's Georgia. That's
gone.
right.
New York,
January 6th gone. Classified documents pretty much gone or suspended indefinitely. Georgia gone. And Stormy Daniels, who will take the stand again today.
Or tomorrow. I don't know if they're taking a day off.
That's right. They may be taking a day off. She's the only person to take the stand on her back. Basically admitted to extortion yesterday. Okay? That's really what happened. There are some details that you probably think you know. This is not about Donald Trump sleeping with an ex-pornography star. This is an accounting issue, all right? But let's just set this up. And you can comment right now if you knew that. Of course, the media wants you to think it's about the sex details in this case. They just want to embarrass the guy. I don't think anybody cares. But she testified yesterday, this hush money case. And apparently, Trump got a little heated, but more importantly, do you want to know that this is political persecution? I don't know if you look up the history of law. Not one person has ever been held in contempt or gone to prison for shaking their head.
I want to read this part. Do I have this? Do I have it?
Do you?
Here it is. Sorry. This is the sidebar between Mershon and Todd Blanche at some point that happens.
This is funny. I love it.
You guys don't hear this, right?
Right.
Okay, so we're getting this later. I understand your client is upset at this point, Judge Mershon, but he is cursing. But he is cursing audibly, and he is shaking his head visually, and that's contemptuous. It has the potential to intimidate the witness, and the jury can see that. Mr. Blanche, I will talk to him.
The court is Judge Merchant.
So I'm speaking to you here at the bench because I don't want to embarrass him. Mr. Blanche, I will talk to him. The court, you need to speak to him. I won't tolerate that. Mr. Blanche, I will talk to him.
Think about this. This is intolerable. Now, you shouldn't be doing this all the time. That means you probably have Parkinson's. Get it checked. But this, when a lying whore, by her own admission, takes the stand to do lying whore things, not all women are lying whores, to be clear. This is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that Stormy Daniels is a lying whore.
Yes.
Why am I saying she's a liar? Because she admitted to being a liar. Why am I saying she's a whore? Because she was paid to have sex for money. I get the technicality that there was a camera present, so she's technically not a whore, but I'm more traditional. So, I think this, maybe even a little mutter of, it's bullshit. It's fine. I certainly don't think it's a crime, but let's go through some of the facts here why President Trump may have been nodding or shaking his head. All right, key fact one. There was absolutely no reason for Stormy Daniels to testify yesterday.
This is an entirely unnecessary witness. It is uncontested that there's an NDA. Whether what happened in their relationship, if there was one, is immaterial to how those payments were denoted by the Trump campaign.
Okay, this is an accounting issue about money paid to Stormy Daniels as to whether it's a legal expense instead of a campaign expense. To be clear, when I say she never needed to take the stand, there's no reason for her to, and whatever details she makes up about their sexual encounter are completely irrelevant to this case. The media may not act as though that is the truth, but it is. Why? Stormy Daniels already admitted that the affair never happened multiple times. She was previously ordered to pay Trump's legal fees because she lost. She sued him for defamation. Basically, it was a money shakedown scheme. Yeah. And she said that she would rather go to jail than pay those fines, that she would defy the court orders. This is someone who said the affair didn't happen. This is someone who lost in court in a way that is incredibly consequential. And she said, I'm not going to obey the court. And then yesterday in court effectively admitted that this is actively extortion. Here's what she even said. She said, I'm not denying this affair because I was paid hush money. She said, I'm denying this affair because it never happened. And she lists, which dates does she list in that?
So pull it back up and I'll read them for you. So 2006,
I think it's
2011. So in the future, she also didn't sleep with Trump. 2016, 2017, and now again in 2018. So she denied the affair at least 5 times. Once in the future, she had a DeLorean. And then she comes back and denies it again and again and again and again. And then says, by the way, pull that back up. This is the one thing that she does this letter. And then at the end, she says, I will have no further comment on this matter, but please feel free to check out my Instagram.
Yeah.
She denied it more than John.
She put that in there because she's like, this is the grift she's on. She's writing books about this. She's trying to cash checks on this. She's checking my Instagram out with this statement that she was releasing. She's just self-promoting. That's all this is. This is Stormy Daniels doing what she has always done.
The Rooster Crow wasn't John.
Was
Who was it?
The Rooster... What? He said he denied it more than John. I think he means Peter.
Is it Peter who denied Jesus Christ 3 times? Sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
How dare you?
Let's just move on.
I right past it.
Let's
I
not
didn't even hear it.
conflate porn stars with our Lord. I know that's not what you're doing. I was because someone's gonna be like, "That's not John." Look, it was a joke. It was Peter. It was a joke.
I got it wrong.
Let's get back to the lying whore. Okay. Here's the other effect. The media wants you to focus on something that does not matter. It could not matter less. I'm just going to present you with my opinion here. She wants to get on the stand and embarrass him. That was a plan all along, right? To try and reveal some private details regarding a sexual encounter with Donald Trump that very likely never happened. I'm honestly right. I don't believe that it happened. I know that Donald Trump has had affairs in the past. I get that. It's not lost on me. I think that maybe there was some flirting, but I'm 60-40. He never slept with Stormy Daniels at this point. My mind has changed on that. You comment below if you're in that same camp, just because the motivations are so dark and dishonest from Daniels by her own admission. So when she tried to reveal some sexual here's the thing too, it's not even bad. It's really like let me the one that the media has picked up on. Okay, she said that she spanked Trump with a magazine that in which he was like the person on the cover. Here, Daniels. Here's a quote from the transcript. Daniels said, "Someone should spank you with that." Daniels then said Trump rolled up the magazine and handed it to her, daring her to spank him. So I took it from him and said, "Turn around," and swatted him.
That's actually kind of funny. I mean, that's kind of a power move. He's like, hey, pick up the Time magazine with my face on it. It's like, come on.
Really? That's like, so hold on a second. The scandal here is you spanked him with the magazine playfully after you suggested it? That's not even weird or perverted.
Right.
That's like along the lines of a sexual fetish of sexy flight attendant outfit. Everyone likes the sexy flight attendant outfit.
Look, if he crapped on the floor and you put his face in it and swatted him so he didn't do it again,
that'd be different.
That would be a little bit different, but I don't think that's
a
what
weird
they were
kink.
saying.
Yeah, that would be weird. She's just like, so this magazine, someone should spank you. And basically all Donald Trump said was, yeah, all right.
He's the one with my face, though.
I don't care anymore. It's not like it involved midgets and a needle and a parrot and a hat. Like, who cares? Are you at this? And by the way, it's none of our business. Anyone out there? This is the problem with today's. Anyone out there want all of your private sexual details between you
please,
and your consenting spouse or long-term relationship, wife, husband, to be available to the public? Everyone has different sexual preferences, flavors. Guess what? That's why there are different kinds of couples. It could not be less relevant. I don't care anymore. I don't give a rat's ass. That's where I am at this point. Is it me?
No, it's not you. By the way, the funniest detail of this that makes me not believe that he slept with is the condom.
Yeah, she said then he slept, then he forgive me, again, this is not for children watching the show. Hopefully you know, if we're mentioning Stormy Daniels, you see it in the title. Yeah, she said he didn't use a condom. This is the guy who couldn't shake people's hands for decades because he was such a germaphobe. You think he's going to enter into that chasm of virality?
Be like, ew, gross.
He wouldn't eat bread at functions.
No.
Because he would have to, he was a Howie Mandel.
Yeah.
We're supposed to believe that he just threw it out the window. Why? Because you're some siren where he couldn't help himself from your draw, your magnetic luring of him from the shorelines of whoredom.
Don't worry, I'm still a virgin.
Yes.
Yeah, he's probably not sending that snake to that swamp. I don't think.
Oh, no.
Without a condom. No,
He's double bagging it, my friend, if that happens. So
I don't buy it. I don't. A germaphobe, let me get this straight. A germaphobe had unprotected sex with you. Okay. even though you've already denied it multiple times, after you suggested he be spanked by a magazine and he permitted it.
You dared her, technically, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Double dog dare you.
I don't care. Like, hit the like button if you don't care, because guess what? You have to send the message that you don't care, so the media stops pulling this shit and wasting your time. Rape, bad, different. Sex crimes, very different. That's why we need to close the border. Record number of sex slaves being brought up, but we don't talk about that. We talk about whether Donald Trump was playfully spanked by a rolled up magazine. That's how you know this is a sham trial. Here's another key fact, and all references are available at louderwithcrowder.com. Notice they're not really talking about it on CNN. It was all day yesterday and the day before leading up to it. Even they know, this is not good. When even Judge Merchant said, yeah, this witness was a little bit tough to control. That's legalese for crazy bitch. So here's what she repeatedly stated, right, that money was not a motivator in telling her story. But she then went back and forth. Well, first off, she took a huge pile of money because like, money was not my main motivation. But didn't you take all this money? Well, I did, but not now. So you took the money, but now you want to tell your story that you said never happened, right? She kept going back and forth between Trump's then attorney, Michael Cohen, and the National Enquirer, like it was this auction. That's what was going on. Like, I got dumb whore here, got a dumb whore here, got a dumb whore here, 165,000. Dumb whore here, got a dumb whore here. Michael Cohen for dumb whore here. National Enquirer for dumb whore there, National Enquirer. Do I hear? She's just like, me, mutual, I'm sure. So this is one of the exchanges between President Trump's lawyer. And by the way, not all, hopefully you know, women, this is not referring to all women as whores, just women who quite literally have sex for money. And that's not even the most aggravating part. A woman can have sex for money and do it honestly. Stormy Daniels is not amongst them. She gives, and I mean this genuinely, she gives a bad name to professional whores.
One bad apple.
I know. Well,
it's like going,
Or like a squash.
It's like going, professional whores. It's like going to Taco Bell at 2 a.m. You know what you're getting. Mm-hmm. Professional hookers and porn act, they know what they are, and there's an unwritten agreement. If something takes place, that the payment means, like this is not something that everyone needs to know about, right? That's why it's, in this case, she's going to set professional whores back like pre-Old West days, because guys are going to be afraid of the transaction turning up on social media. So thanks, Stormy. You've ruined hookering for the rest of us.
the oldest profession gone.
So here's an exchange between the Trump lawyer and Daniels from yesterday. The lawyer said, and I believe her name is, yeah, that's right. Susan, I'm not going to pronounce the last name, said, you were looking to extort money from President Trump, right? And Daniels said, false. The lawyer said, well, that's what you did. Daniels responded, false, again. Then she said, I was terrified, so I decided to change my tactic. So hold on a second. You took money. You took a whole bunch of money, and then you were scared, so you changed it to telling your story? Threatening to tell your story unless you get more money? Oh, extortion. But Donald Trump shook his head. It's the same thing they talk about the classified documents case being postponed indefinitely. Like, it would be one thing if we had something to compare it to. Like, you could only say, for example, it's not lost. I mean, you could only say that this is clearly political persecution if this happened to be the only case where someone was treated this way in dealing with classified documents. I don't know. It'd be nice if we had something that would be comparable in apples to apples, like, say, classified documents being in a garage.
Well, they were in a box.
Yeah, they were in a box.
New York Corvette. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean, it's a pretty cool way to do it.
Pretty cool dude. Even Avenatti, who was Stormy Daniels' lawyer, dropped her as a client, and then he actually put out on X that the reason he dropped her was because he found out through text that she was extorting Trump. That's what this always was.
But when?
He said, Daniels admitted to me in early 2019 that she and Davidson had extorted Trump in October 2016. Oh. It was a shakedown. This is one of the many reasons I fired her as a client in February 2019. Huh. I'm not saying Avenatti is trustworthy.
No, he's not.
But you can look at that moment and you can look and see there was a change of counsel, and she was bouncing around. And it stands to reason in this case. It would stand to reason that a guy like Avenatti saying, I can't represent you anymore, that means you're pretty bad.
The guy that went to prison?
Yes, this guy did time for stuff that he's done as a lawyer.
Yeah.
But October of 2016, interesting. You mean right before? So it's not about the money? It's really not about the money? If it's right before the election where Donald Trump beats Hillary Clinton, it's not about the money? You weren't trying to be the October surprise and maybe get your career going again?
I mean, I'm a dick, but I'm not a monster.
Yeah, come on.
And President Trump's lawyers, they really did just destroy Daniels' credibility, right? She admitted under oath that she hates Trump, that she would never pay the money she owes Trump by law, and that she wanted to see him in jail. Even CNN, they were pre-gaming for this trial for days, right? They're like, we're going to get to hear about Donald Trump's weird sex stuff. Stormy Daniels, not the hero we need, but the whore we deserve. They had, quick, flash the snatch symbol. They admitted, all right, this is pretty bad.
But the cross-exam, boy, her responses were disastrous. I mean, do you hate Donald Trump? Yes, of course she does. That's a big deal. When the witness hates the person whose liberty is at stake, that's a big damn deal. And she's putting out tweets, fantasizing about him being in jail. That really undermines the credibility. The fact that she owes him $500,000, she, by order of a court, owes Donald Trump $500,000 and said, I will never pay him. I will defy a court order. The defense is going to say she's willing to defy a court order. Why? She's not willing to respect an order of a judge. Why is she going to respect this oath she took?
Yeah, I want to see what that entire panel was saying 2 days ago.
Exactly.
You can guess.
I want to see what they were saying right then. You notice one thing there? Not one of them was shaking their head like, yeah, that's a good point. Every time they're saying something negative about Donald Trump, they're like, yeah, right. We all agree. He's a bad guy.
Careful with head shaking. You can be held in contempt and
That's
sent
true.
to jail.
I swear to my breath as well.
Crime. And she's just also, she's a bragging lying whore. She was bragging about all of her accolades when she was there. It was one big PR stunt, right? All of her accolades, awards. She claimed she had taken home 2 Oscars, 4 Tonys, and 1 Latin Grammy, which, if you're listening on audio, makes no sense. And something else I would like.
Can we show that again? I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
That's Oscar the Grouch.
Tony
There's 2
the
Oscars.
Tiger. There's
Oscars.
Tony
Oh, Oscar from The Office. Yeah.
I hate us right now.
I'm not proud of it.
No, I think that's prime television.
Here's something I also want you guys to pay. Have you noticed this? Cancel culture isn't as big of a thing anymore. Here's why. And I didn't like the term cancel culture. I don't like gimmickry in general. Whether it's like TradCon, like, what do you mean you're a stay-at-home wife and mom? Why do you have to put on a Betty Bombshell dress? It's just, let's do away with gimmicks. Cancel culture was just sort of a catchphrase, but you're not seeing it as much. What you're not seeing is people being quote-unquote canceled for saying things that are politically incorrect as much because people are tired of that. They've sort of caught on and said, yeah, all right, we get it now. And everyone realizes we could all be technically canceled if we're held to this standard. So what do you see? It's a new, I would say, more subversive kind of cancel culture. It's a character assassination through the court of public opinion. That's what's really, really been revved up. It's not Donald Trump said something, right? It used to be, he said, grab him by the pussy, right? He said that these people are animals, talking about MS-13 members. He said that it hasn't worked. So now they're just going to make up things that he did, even if he didn't do them. And that's what they did, for example. You see it with Trevor Bauer. You see it. They will do it with you. You just see this happening on a national stage. They will do it to the people who they deem to be politically unacceptable. And they'll use it to protect their own. Classified documents, standard for Trump, standard for Biden. Rule of law, burden of proof, standard for Trump, standard for Stormy Daniels. It's, well, at this point, we can't just cancel him for saying things because no one really buys it anymore. Let's just say that he had unprotected sex with a porn star who denied it 6 times and has no credibility whatsoever and has said that she flagrantly disregards the rule of law and wants to see him in jail and take away his liberty and affect the election. That's where it's changing. So the way that you can deal with it is just don't give it more time. Yeah, if you want to learn about the case, okay, fine. You see, if you see a tabloid saying Donald Trump, like, I don't know, likes a feather in his ear, just don't. Who cares? Who cares? Do you have any idea? Have you guys? Someone bring this up. Mission Control. Okay, we'll have this in Mug Club. Do you know the story? I believe it was I want to say it might have been Nixon. Maybe it was Johnson. It was someone who was congratulating the Gipper, Ronald Reagan, most wholesome president ever, on the night of winning the presidency, right? The night of the election. And the story is they went into the hotel. This was in someone's autobiography. Went into the hotel room where Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan were celebrating. And they opened the door, and it was a waft of the aroma of sex. And I don't say this to be profane. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Like Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan had been screwing because he just won the presidency, and everyone went, whoa, blow your hat off. Guess what? Human beings do stuff.
At least it wasn't an intern under his desk.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Remember they used to say, I don't care what he does in his own time. At least Donald Trump, let's assume it's true. Donald Trump wasn't actually lying to Stormy Daniels, saying he was in love with her when she was an intern and he's decades older. It would have been a transaction that, by the way, she would have been very accustomed to. I don't care. I don't care anymore.
You always want to do work things when I'm not at work.
Yes.
Like have sex.
Yes. I don't want to talk about work right now. I've been working all day.
I've been working all day, all day. And all night last night. And
it's my only skill. So this is what we are living with right now. It's a show trial about a sexual affair that Daniels said never happened. She's already lost in court twice to Donald Trump. She said she would defy the court, not pay the fines to Donald Trump, and yesterday she admitted to extorting Donald Trump. But the media will spend hours on this case pretending the woman has any credibility until it gets to the point of being undeniable, because the new cancel culture is character assassination without proof. You will obey. You will be made to play by their rules. Otherwise, you will be removed from society.
Watch Louder with Crowder live Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.